Carolina, Alex Holt, who began his college career in the Tar Heel State. For Mercer, Catamounts have the ball. Game number 1 of 2 on this Friday night in Asheville.
As good as the Catamounts are up front, boy, their guards got to be able to attack and limit those turnovers at first possession turnover.
How about an early attempt? That can go down from the outside for the Bears. The stop after Renus Terrace on the miss on one end. Other end, Catamounts trying to save it. But Bernard Pelote to the wrong team. Terrace working inside. Kell was right there, and Terrace able to score over it.
Nice job. I think he really wanted to get it to Holt. We see him jump into a little three-quarter court action right here with Cam Bryan up front.
In the backcourt, you've got Cord Stansberry and Ice Emery. Bernard Pelote, interesting player, a guy who on a very talented team a year ago didn't have to be a go-to player, but he's led them in scoring better than 14 a game.
He's the only cat that played for them really last year. He's talented. They'll need to play well for them tonight.
Couldn't get that to fall. Good defense by Terrace. Here come the Bears. Bryant going to pull up in transition. Cam Bryant transfers from Georgia Southern. One of the many new faces on the Bears roster this year.
He's really known for his defense, and that's why he's on Pelote.
Kell. And it comes down to Chip Johnson. He'll push the pace. He and Ahmad Robinson have combined to be quite a backcourt this season. Guy who's maybe an X factor for them, Alex Holt, has upped his game this year. Averages nearly 11 a contest, leads them in rebounding with about 7. Bryant can't get that one to fall. Stansberry came to them from the West Coast at Pepperdine. Collins transferred in from Princeton. And here's Pelote. Had the hand of Bryant in his face. Robinson, a New Hampshire transfer with the ball for the Bears.
Both teams have combined 0 of 5 behind the arc. Quick to shoot it. That guy can make it.
Chip Johnson, first attempt of the night. And the lid is on for both teams. As their early SoCon tourney action has not begun with a great deal of flow. But a feed to Kell. Good collapse on the defense. On the floor with it, Collins to his teammate. And one.
I'm not sure how Collins went cold for 3 seconds. I guess the officials didn't think he had control of it. Nice job right there, though, to find Kell. Look, you got bodies on the floor. It's tournament time. He looks around. I think he's trying to find a teammate on the perimeter. He finds Kell, who finishes with tough contact.
Marcus Kell, sitting out a year ago, third-year player out of Rock Hill, went to Legion Collegiate. Foul on Alex Holt, his first. You look at these two teams, there's a lot of talent on both sides. It's just not necessarily the proportionate way you'd want it. The backcourt of Mercer's been really good. The bigs of Western Carolina have been very solid.
Very solid. You're right. It's and that's been a hindrance for both teams, right? They haven't. The Bears just haven't been able to get much inside. Holt really their only option.
And Holt with the ball coming off the glass to Pelote. Emery in transition. Catamounts team averaging about 70 points a game, and they have shown improvement. They had a 3-game stretch before a regular season-ending 4-game losing streak, in which they were really good. We saw them knock off a really good ETSU ball club back in February. Shot clock under 10. Emery, no look, and a finish down low. Pretty finish by Chase McKee.
Yeah, that's exactly what McKee, Collins, even Pelote, Kell need to do. Just roll to the basket and use that size at an advantage.
Robinson rarely sees a shot he doesn't like, and that time went right over Emery.
He has liked playing Western Carolina this season. At 28 last Saturday on him. 18 and 13 rebounds in the first meeting. He's a really good rebounder for the guard slot, especially at his size.
McKee working inside on Holt. And they're going to count it, and that's a second quick foul on Alex Holt.
And that's a big foul because he's really the only presence outside of Marcus Overstreet. Watch it again. He just backs him down in. The double team doesn't come, and he just finishes. That's an and one. I know Ryan Ritter didn't like it, but that's a good call.
So Alex Holt has to go to the bench. Marcus Overstreet will check in. Came to them from USC Buford. Here's McKee. Dad Derek played in the NBA. First season for Chase and is coming in from Marshall.
We should have added a third key for Mercer, and that's stay out of foul trouble up front. They're just limited. Now with Holt, it's kind of the game within the game early on. We haven't played 4 minutes, and Ritter's got some decisions to make.
Johnson finding Bryant. Bryant as streaky a player as they have on their team. Here's Johnson from the wing. Battle for the rebound, won by Pelote. He plays much longer than his 6'8" build, I think.
He does. I mean, clearly this is his team. As good as Kell's been down the stretch, this is Pelote's team. He's their leader. When they need a basket, they generally look to him first.
Stansberry alone in the lane. Couldn't get it to go. Johnson comes away with it. Mercer 0 for 5 beyond the arc to start.
And they were 13 of 26 last Saturday against the same Catamount team.
Robinson underneath. Able to get inside the defender, Brandon Morgan.
That's a good, smart, heady play by Robinson, knowing shots haven't been falling for a variety of Bears outside the three. Just attack the rim. Really, that's what the Catamounts need to do as well. Go inside out.
Kell driving on Vacheteris. Shot clock at 10. McKee. Hand off to Morgan. Junior came to them from the junior college ranks. There's a drive to the bucket. McKee, who had 4 points in the game on Saturday, off to a really nice start. Getting 7 so far, and the Catamounts have a 3-point lead.
And when you pull Overstreet away from the basket, there's no rim protection for the guys in white.
Overstreet, Pelote defends. Right back at him. Overstreet battles. Not going to go down for the 6'9" Chicago native. Free throws upcoming as McKee and the Catamounts trying to extend their season.
Well, the first round of the Southern Conference tournament is off and running. The unlikeliest TV heroes, so I think he's exactly right. Yeah, look, they beat the regular season champion to open conference play. Now, they did finish 3-7 down the stretch. Part of that is free throws. They didn't shoot them real well. Part of it's turnovers. Part of it's they just didn't have a lot of inside play. And that guy right there at the free throw line, we're going to count on him. Maybe not so much for points, but just a presence with Alex Holt now having 2 fouls.
But Marcus Overstreet just 42% from the line this season. Makes 1 out of 2. You know, when he got the job last spring and scrappy defense in the backcourt by the Bears, McKee working back there with C.J. Highland. There was a question mark coming into the game. But when Ryan Ritter took over Mercer, he could have delivered the same line that John Calipari did at Arkansas. Now, about the roster, well, there is no roster. Only 2 players who played any minutes last year returned, Jock Quinones and Alex Holt, in terms of contributors.
Yeah, and T.J. Grant was coming back from an elbow injury. Had to totally rebuild it in a quick fashion. And you know what, I think he's also learned kind of a lot about this league, and he'll be better prepared as they go out and recruit. I don't think there's any question Ritter and staff will get it done moving forward and make it.
Catamounts, 20 on the shot clock, will inbound. Highland, freshman from just outside of Atlanta. That's him with the ball. McKee. Fine start so far, battling with him. Another freshman on the court, Brady Shoulders. Was originally headed with Ritter to UT Martin, but came south with him to Macon. Here's Robinson. First 3 of the night for the Bears.
Much like Chip Johnson, Robinson can get it going. Talked about a 28 in the last meeting against the Catamounts. He's not scared to take shots, take risks.
Vernon Collins, Princeton transfer, battling over Overstreet.
Well, that's where they need to go, inside, whether it's attacking Overstreet or anybody else. They've got the advantage size-wise.
Robinson. There's Quinones. Now Robinson couldn't be more wide open.
Maybe too wide open, right? Had a chance to find the seams on that one.
Robinson 33% beyond the arc, so it's not like that was intended. Strong move in the bucket, but that can go down. It'll head the other way as Morgan was denied. Johnson, Fisher-Brown on the court for the Catamounts. Johnson couldn't get it to go over him. Another rebound for McKee and Western Carolina.
Chase McKee's been everywhere thus far for the Catamounts. Really not a guy that played a ton of minutes in conference play, but counted on here lately.
Morgan behind the screen. And Quinones. And Ryan Ritter tells him to slow the pace.
Great box out by Quinones there, keeping McKee away from that rebound.
Bears team averaging about 77 points a game. They're 44% from the field. Robinson runs it down through defenders. Oh, and he snuck it up there. Pretty play.
Well, I thought he got fouled on that original handoff by Overstreet. He continued to play. He's a guy that demands attention. He can put your defense in conflict. How you guard him on those pick and roll situations, those dribble handoffs.
Ahmad Robinson and the Mercer Bears trying to keep their season going. On a Friday night in Asheville, he's been making moves like this.
He's not their leading scorer for no reason. He's a problem when he gets down.
News at mid-afternoon, Alex Gary, the athletic director at Western Carolina, has announced he is stepping down. Former Western Carolina baseball player, nearly 5 years on the job. Some very good things in Cullowhee, so we certainly wish him the best. Pelote keeps the lid on from long range for the Catamounts. Bears team that lost a Sunday game in Cullowhee back in January, and then this past weekend knocked off the Catamounts in Macon. Able to keep it alive. Overstreet to the basket. Pelote got a hand on it. Stansberry in the front court. They'll reset. Kell and Emery back on the floor with Cord Stansberry. Kell couldn't get that to fall. Boy, what a tough start. 0 for 7 on three-point tries.
Yeah, neither team really been able to get much outside the arc. It's 9-7 Robinson over McKee, 12-11 overall. Look, I would continue to put Robinson in some pick and roll situations, whether it's at the top or on the side. He's really been your only offense thus far.
Brown got a hand on it to create the near turnover. Shot clock winding down. It's under 5. Quinones forcing. And Kell the rebound. Teams have combined to go 1 of 15 beyond the arc.
At some point, you've got to start taking it inside, particularly if you're the Catamounts. You've got the size advantage.
And Shoulders takes it away. Brady Shoulders, a 40th steal of the year. Johnson finishing the break. Brady Shoulders, the guy that his head coach said has shown so much grit.
He can be a cornerstone of Ritter's program. Yes, they'll get transfers and other high school guys. He's the toughest guy on the roster. He's second, in rebounds. One of their leading three-point shooters in league play. He's just continued to get better and better. I think he's as good a freshman as he was this year in the Southern Conference.
We're using the NOAA shot chart during the Southern Conference tournament. Dean struggles so far from afar.
Yeah, it doesn't take technology, although this is really helpful to show, 1 of 8, 0 for 7. And not all of it been clean looks. I think both teams have rushed it just a little bit.
Emery the inbound. Catamounts as a team came in at 31% beyond the arc. Kell. And the drought continues. They're 0 for 8.
I think Mercer has done a nice job limiting Western Carolina to one and done. Just one offensive rebound.
Robinson defended by Emery. Steps back on him. And Kell gets the rebound. So Tim Kraft, Dave Friedman, is an X's and O's guru. What's he thinking right now with his team not able to hit threes? Stansberry at least will induce the trip to the line where he's really good.
Yeah, he's thinking that getting to the free throw line is a really good way to score when your offense is struggling. The Southern Conference, guys, has a long history with the three-point line. We saw that shot chart not going so well tonight, but Dean, you remember the first ever Division I three was made by a Catamount.
It was back in 1980. Right? About that? I don't know why, I just had a brief moment, but it was before the NCAA instituted it. And they moved the game up that night 30 minutes, so they were the first Division I program to be able to make that shot.
Because it was being experimented in 2 leagues, the Southern Conference, and I believe the Missouri Valley Conference was the other. and they use the Sun Belt to test the original shot clock. Stansbury 92%, and just as I say that, at the echo of the T in percent, he misses on a second free throw try, but he gets one more.
It never fails. You know, he's not the only good free throw shooter though on this team. It's interesting, a team that shoots less than 40% from the floor, just 31% from three, but they're up among the SoCon's best 75% as a team. That's outstanding.
And that's compared to 65% for Mercer. So a tight game, and that could be a huge factor.
And the Bears only 62% in league play. That's cost them in a couple of games.
Robinson out high. Rebounds are even at 12 apiece, but Alex Holt calling for the ball down low, back on the floor with the 2 fouls. Terrace, he could be a big factor in the game. The 6'7" grad transfer from Campbell, originally from Lithuania.
He's a high IQ guy, knows how to play. He's in the Princeton system all those years at Campbell.
3-point lead. Emery tries to change it. Almost was able to finish going up and under. Quinones front court. Deflected, and a good job defensively. Pelote again creating the action on the defensive end.
See a little bit of zone right now out of Mercer. Recognizing the Catamounts not shooting it real well. Trying to protect inside.
Not that time for Pelote, who came in at 36%. Holt got the rebound. Remains a 3-point game, coming up on 8 to play here in our opening half. The lob and the finish. Little head fake there by Robinson.
The Catamounts choosing not to help, even hard hedge on the ball screens involving Robinson. That can be difficult because, boy, if he can rub his defender off the high screen, he'll make good decisions.
Holt's first points of the night, biggest lead, 5 for Mercer. Stansbury, 32% shooter beyond the arc. And the drought extends to 0 for their first 10 for Western Carolina beyond the arc.
Robinson is the engine that makes this Mercer team.
You can get here safe, and you can also travel around the town as well to check it out.
And let's not forget, the players are great, the fans are great, but we've got the cheerleaders and the mascots involved in everything.
Right. Well, we are also doing the mascot challenge, and you have your opportunity to go online and vote. And with that, we're giving away $1,000 to the school that wins the most votes. So if you want your school to win, you need to go online and vote.
Now tell me, when you go into an Ingles and you're going to buy food to prepare for dinner, what's your favorite thing to get?
Oh my goodness, I go to the deli because I'm a working mom, so I go to the deli and I get myself some dinner, some fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and the macaroni and cheese. It's wonderful. That's my go-to.
Pete, I want to eat at her house.
She is noted, Dave, on social media for putting pictures out of the beautiful meals she makes with the groceries she purchases at Ingles. And quite the chef is Ruby Downs. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for our wonderful sponsor, Ingles Markets. Alex Holt at the line, Dean, knocks down the free throw.
Well, interestingly, Coach Ritter showing confidence in him with 2 fouls, bringing back in with 7.5 minutes to go, recognizing that Marcus Overstreet just can't play 14, 15 extended minutes. It's interesting, this Mercer team, they're 7 of 11 inside of 3. Even Western Carolina, they're 5 of 10 inside the arc. I'm not sure why they're not making a more concerted effort to just drive it or pass it inside.
Highland out high to Pelote, shot clock under 5. Pelote forcing it over the hand of Shoulders, and what do you know, a long-range jumper goes down.
He was 0 of 4. Right before that, the toughest shot he's taken goes in.
Long 2 for Pelote. 4-point game. And even though Western's 0 for 10 beyond the arc, as Johnson off balance, took it right at Collins and finished, but Mercer just 1 for 8. And we'll get the offensive foul. Illegal screen. Brandon Morgan picking up his first personal.
I'm not sure Morgan was supposed to be involved in that. I think he just got caught up trying to move to a different spot on the floor. Nonetheless, that was a good call.
3 fouls on the Catamounts, 5 so far in this opening half on Mercer. Quinones will inbound it. Alex Holt Big story when he got 2 quick fouls, but as you said, he's been back in the game here for a few minutes. Him being on the floor does really impact things for this Bears ball club. Taking the feed and off his body. Collins able to recover defensively.
Nice job by Collins right there. Second in blocks on this Catamount team, although he's only got 9 in 18 league games. A guy at 6'10", 225 with that wingspan, you'd think it'd be a little bit more.
Collins off the inbound, was on a Sweet 16 team at Princeton. So this time of the year, he's got some experience in terms of able to handle the clutch moments. He's going to fire for 3. Now they're 0 for 11 to start things out. Again, a team that came in, they hit 36% against Mercer. And Western 31% on the year beyond the arc. But in that Saturday game, the ball game down in Macon, they had 36%.
Collins had only taken 2 threes all year. I guess he thinks, hell, my teammates aren't making it, I'll try.
A foul. That's a bailout on Bryant because he had gotten out of sorts.
Watch Bryant again. And then we'll talk about his free throw shooting. He puts it down on the floor, and he got caught up in the air. I don't think he was going to shoot that thing. I guess they did call it shooting. Interesting, he has started every game for this Bears team, 31. He's only been to the free throw line 10 times all year.
Holt and rejected by Pelote. Boy, Bernard Pelote's done such a great job defending at the rim in this opening half. Under 5.5 to go. That was knocked away by Johnson. Gets the pass back from Holt. And a little jam on the back end.
Nice steal, nice finish. Jim Johnson. He's a guy that can get his own.
Stansberry crossing over on Vizteras. Biggest lead of the night. No-look pass to Brown. Despite the bobble, he's able to finish. And that brings the Catamounts back within 6.
Nice backdoor cut by Brown right there.
Lob down low. Vizteras is fouled. Pelote.
We had a difference of opinion. I don't know that the officials are going to come together on that. The official on the baseline was getting ready to call that he had just fallen out of bounds.
Vizteras looked like a wide receiver jumping up in traffic in the end zone.
Watch it here again on the upper part of your screen right here. Trying to throw the lob. Call the foul as the ball's in the air.
Vizteras fouled hard that time, and no doubter. Might have gotten poked in the eye.
I think the officials will have to take a look at that just for no other reason, because his head kind of snapped back right there.
Vizteras looks like he's okay. R.B. Clyburn, Michael Terry, Anthony Eads, our officiating crew tonight. We'll find out what they're looking at.
Yep, here's a couple of looks, and they have said they will review it right here. Do see the right arm coming in. It doesn't look like it's intentional.
Play we had on the last foul call.
Both angles are going to show how he got hit pretty good, but I don't know that they're going to call Pelote. I don't think that's enough to upgrade. He was trying to make a play on the ball. Vizteras just took the ball in his left hand and leaned out.
So the review continues.
Replay one more time, same pace.
That certainly isn't a flagrant one at the park, but we're not playing where you call your own right now. There was enough contact to look at.
Looked like pretty much a basketball play. Pelote, by the way, that's his second personal foul. That's a big item right there.
Good crew here today. Michael Terry leading the way. R.B. Clyburn and Anthony Eads. If you recognize the name Eads, Michael Eads, his father.
Who you can see on the left side of your screen. Now you can. The officials will go over and talk.
Supervisor of officials for collective among those the Southern Conference.
Mercer Bears had an 8-point lead moments ago. So a common foul is the determination.
That was good use, though, of the replay. I mean, he got hit. They looked at it. All three had a chance to review it.
Arenas Vizteras, 71% this season on free throws. at the line for a first time tonight. As you said earlier, began his career with the Campbell Fighting Camels. Had 11 points in the win on Saturday against the Catamounts. A couple more right there.
See some more pressure. I like Cam Bryant there up front with his length and athleticism. He's an elite defender. Keep the Catamounts in front of you. Need a lob pass like a turnover. Now, the question is, who can score for this Catamounts team? Of the 5 guys on the floor, they're collective 3 of 15.
Brown feeding the baseline. Stansberry, the pass wide. Catamounts give it up for a 5th time in the opening half.
Just no real rhythm or flow for the Catamounts offensively.
We saw them play at UNC Asheville. This flow offensively kind of reminds me of that game, as they really never got things untracked offensively. Robinson on the other end leaves it short. Pelote skying for a 4th rebound on the night. But we also saw them play against ETSU about a month ago, and everything was working for them. Emery, a guy named Ice, suddenly is able to break the ice from long range. First made 3 of the game in 12 tries for Western.
That's a big shot. Mark that down about around the 4-minute mark. Able to keep this game somewhat close and within reach before you get to halftime.
Pelote just picked up his 3rd personal foul. Ice Emery is the man who delivers from long range for the Catamounts.
You called it. A guy named Ice knocks it down. They're now 1 of 12. Better yet.
A couple of veteran head coaches who've been going at it as SoCon foes this year for the first time. Brian Ritter, though, did have a previous connection to Tim Kraft, 2 guys Western Carolina, and Dave Friedman, more on that.
Yeah, and a former connection with Mercer. There's a young man named Dylan Poston. He played a year at Mercer. He transferred to Daytona State and played for Ryan Ritter. Then he transferred to Gardner-Webb and played for Tim Kraft. And now he coaches and does real estate in Myrtle Beach. But they also turn the tables. Jordan Sears started at Gardner-Webb with Tim Kraft, and then he went to UT Martin and played for Ryan Ritter, and now he's at LSU.
Somewhere in there's a player to be named later.
Double Sears and Ritter will tell you. Nice back cut right there and pass by Collins.
Good job by McKee to recognize he had to hesitate. Solid ball game for him. 9 points so far. Catamounts trying to hang around after that Emery made 3. Here's Robinson pulling up. Got his own rebound. Vice Terrace. The old up and down. Good job getting out there by Emery to defend.
Yeah, I thought for a moment Emery hit him as he went up in the air, but there was no contact. Just good recovery on the closeout. Johnson trying to make the extra pass. Don't see that very often.
Another stop by the Catamounts in a 5-point game. See if Emery feels like he has a hot hand. So he'll set it up with Kell. Stansberry. It's in the West Coast Conference a year ago. Emery thought about it. Goes past Robinson. Now a little step back. And coming away with it, Overstreet and the Bears.
I sound like Brooke Grant. I just don't understand why teams aren't really trying to throw it inside. I mean, the Catamounts before that possession, 7 of 12 inside of 2.
And good job by Collins to at least deny a pass across the lane.
Robinson. He gets hit as much as anybody, but that was just, look, Collins just going straight up. Robinson wanted the foul. There's times where he will let contact affect his game rather than just concentrate on trying to finish the play, whether it's a shot or an assist. He'll let perceived contact affect him.
Johnson can't get it to go. Overstreet stepped out of bounds.
Tough night so far for Chip Johnson. He can knock those shots. They run that out of bounds play for him to the corner. That's where he's at his best, but just not tonight. 0 of 3 behind the arc.
Highland. Kell. And here's Morgan. He'll try from the left wing. Kell, good hustle. Out of bounds. Back over to Mercer. Kell much in disbelief for the Catamounts.
Well, while the Bears have kind of mixed their defense up, they've shown some pressure, they've shown some man and some zone. Catamounts have just stayed right in this half court. They fight through those screens. Now, they're not helping again. They're just trying to support in the backside in the paint if Robinson gets there.
Nice terrace out high. Dribbles inside on Kell. Johnson, shot clock at 5. Terrace off the pump fake and a dribble. And then shoulders, there he is. Keeping the possession alive for Mercer. Terrace again. Shoulders. And he's fouled. Talk about having a nose for the ball.
He does. I mean, he's their toughest guy. He'll throw his body around. That's why he's got the admiration and respect of his teammates. He just goes and gets it. Nobody puts a body on him. Right place, right time. He's going to find himself at the free throw line. There was a time where he was adjusting like all freshmen, but once kind of hit conference play in early January, he's never hit what you would call that freshman wall. I think part of it is he's got a good body, a good frame on him. He's also got the right mentality. He's trying to stay within himself. He hasn't tried to do things he can't do.
Out of Eddyville, Kentucky. 66% on the year on free throws. A year ago, his high school team, Lyon County, went 36-3 in winning a state title. Got a timeout called by the Catamounts, Tim Kraft, in a 6-point game with 1:30. Well, Tim Kraft had the use it or lose it timeout, so he went ahead and took it. Ryan Ritter and the Mercer Bears, led by as many as 8 points in this opening half. Brady Shoulders tries to increase the lead back to 7. Well, there's a guy that, Ryan Ritter's really going to love to build his program around in the future.
Those are the kind of guys you want, right? You stick around, you grow, you just get better, kind of the old school model. Clearly Kraft talked to them about something offensively.
Here's Stansberry, little catch and shoot. A second three-pointer in this opening half for the Catamounts. And Stansberry, first bucket of the game for him. He's got 5 points. Now Ryan Ritter, use it or lose it with 1:02 to go.
Well, if you're tipped
6% from the field, so are the Catamounts.
If you're Western right now, I mean, the biggest thing is you got to keep Robinson in front of you. Highland, while he's a freshman, number 2 in black, I mean, he is a good on-ball defender. And if he gets just a little bit of help in any kind of ball screen and can keep Robinson in front of him, it makes their initial thrust at offense at a minimum.
Highland, the personal foul. Second on the freshman from Loganville, Georgia. Did not play against Mercer for Western on Saturday.
Not a terrible foul if you're looking at things statistically.
Marcus Overstreet, native of Chicago, can't get the front end of the 1-and-1. Collins the rebound.
Talked about it, free throws. That's something to watch. Not only down the stretch, but now they come into play.
Under a minute to go in this opening half. Kell's gonna fire. Suddenly things are blooming from long range for the Catamounts.
And I don't know if it was intentional or not, but now they bought themselves kind of a 2-for-1 situation with about 7 seconds difference on the shot clock and game clock.
Back to a 1-point game, and Bears in no hurry. You see the differential, about 6 seconds or so.
You got to feel like a ball screen's coming. Highland's going to need help just to keep Robinson under control.
Behind the ball screen, Robinson can't convert. Plenty of time for Stansberry, Kell, and the Catamounts. And free throws upcoming.
It's amazing what good defense will do, and you can turn defense into offense. Kell took a pretty good hit.
First foul on Overstreet.
Stansbury just got going right there, and Kell cut to the basket. I think he just caught a little bit of left hand by Overstreet. He was just coming down. I don't know that requires the officials to review.
Kell close to 12 points a game, but it's a body of work over the past 10 games or so that's really seen that scoring average soar.
In his last 11, he's 18.8. 6 rebounds and 90% from the line. Now, he missed a free throw earlier, but again, he has been rock solid. Much like we talk about shoulders kind of being a cornerstone of Ryan Ritter's program, that guy right there, if he works, stays after it, gets stronger, and he can be a problem in this league with his size and length.
Tie game, the heave to beat the buzzer will not. Told you these teams played just this past Saturday in Macon. Bears won it 81-69, avenging an earlier loss and snapping a modest losing streak in the series. And the rejection right away, and a big-time block by Collins. But Robinson and the Bears keep. Emery defends. Hesitation, step back, and off 1 foot.
Clearly, that possession, you saw what Ryan Ritter talked about at halftime. Robinson attacked the basket. Use your quickness to get by those Catamount defenders.
Back in front go the Bears. Robinson, first player on either side in double figures now with 11. Highland, player that was questionable coming into this game, but there he is on the floor. There's Emery, couldn't get it to go, and Robinson the long rebound. Robinson, and whistle, and a foul will be called. Ryan Ritter visited with Dave Friedman coming out of the locker room. Dave?
Yeah, I asked him what happened the final 5-6 minutes of the half when they didn't score and Western went on a 7-0 run, and he said, well, the Catamounts made some shots, and I figured at some point they probably would. He really felt that it looked like a first-round tournament game. Teams finding their legs, kind of figuring it out. I asked about Chip and Ahmed not shooting it great, and he said, yeah, you know, we need to go inside. We need to have a little bit better spacing. Overall, though, he liked the effort.
Vernon Collins' second personal foul has Ahmad Robinson at the line. His first attempt of the night. Robinson, second on their team at 72% this season.
He had a stretch early on in conference play where he just could not make free throws. They looked good at the release point, but couldn't get it to go in. You know, to kind of finish Dave's point, yeah, I think some of it was, it's the first game of the tournament, but you also can figure that's why they're in the 8-9. They'd had some stretches like this throughout the season, and neither of these teams were able to finish games out to where they finished in the top 6.
Highland, the freshman, showing his quickness. Now Kell up top, driving on Bryant. Kell to the basket. Change hands in the air. Marcus Kell, a guy we focused on coming in, has 8 in the game.
And that's against the Bears' best defender.
Won't go for Bryant. A tough night for him and the Bears from long range. He's now 0 for 3. Highland with Robinson defending. A couple of quick players there. Kell almost ran past the ball. Emery. Like he wanted to go all the way in on Vice Terrace. He'll try again and taken away by Robinson. Came into the game with 59 steals to lead Mercer. Almost had it knocked away. Underneath, Holt wide open. Great recognition by Ahmad Robinson after disaster almost came in on him.
Disaster at both ends, actually.
Strong move, Emery, and a stronger finish, Collins.
Well, that's what Collins needs to do. And for that matter, McKee, when he's in there, just attack the offensive boards.
How about Johnson? Holt the follow, and then the whistle. So end to end. And Ahmad Robinson, they used to say Larry Bird had eyes in the back of his head.
But you see it right there. He knew Holt was there. He just had to corral the ball first. And he finished it. And then in transition, Vernon Collins. Again, that's what both teams have to do. If you're not going to throw it in a half-court setting, you've got to get some baskets off some offensive rebounds, whether it's by dunk or just putbacks. Neither team shooting it well enough, really from anywhere on the floor right now.
Holt back in his home state. We told you he began his career here in North Carolina over at High Point in the Big South. Second season with the Bears. That was the second foul, by the way, on Western Carolina's Cord Stansberry. They've got 2 here early on in half number 2. And Holt extending the lead to 3.
Holt was able to play through had 2 fouls, and Ritter inserted him back with about 7.5 minutes to go. He played some minutes there down the stretch, and now, if he can stay out of foul trouble, it'll be a big key for the Bears here in the second half.
It'll stay in this end. Good hustle by Chip Johnson. Pelote to inbound. He had to go to the bench in that opening half as he picked up 3 personal fouls. He was as effective on the defensive end of the first half than offensively.
He
only
did
scored 2.
a really nice job inside. You're right.
Kell, aggressive move. Takes the rebound away momentarily, but now Robinson of the Bears looking to add to a 3-point advantage. Holt, strong move to the bucket.
And to your point, nothing Pelote could do right there. Just stay feet planted. Didn't want to pick up a foul, and that's the right thing to do. You'd rather give up 2 points than get another foul here in tournament play.
We were tied at the break, but the Bears established a 5-point lead once more. Emery, it helps when the rims are soft.
Sometimes they don't ask how, it's simply how many. That's a big 3 right there.
Vice Terrace, bad pass. Emery recognizing it. And the Catamounts will set things up. Nice job by Ice Emery. Began the night with 27 steals. Emery trying to lose Holt. I should say McKee. Stansberry down low for Kell. And Vice Terrace wins the battle.
Neither team able to get into a flow right now offensively.
Vice Terrace out front. Bears are 1 out of 14 beyond the arc for a ball club that came in shooting 33%.
And you're okay if Vice Terrace has taken those shots. He's now 0 of 4. He comes into the game 25.5%.
Dave, we saw them free-spirited during their workout last night, their shoot-around, Mercer. I thought I saw them hitting some threes. Pelote's going to try for the Catamounts. I didn't expect this.
Well, there were no fans in attendance, and there wasn't a defense set as well. And Dean, my guess is a set defense that's game planned for you is tougher to play against than an open gym where you're playing rap music.
Just a little bit. When the lights are on and you know your season's on the line, yeah, there's pressure. Pressure doesn't just exist on the #1 seed in a tournament. It's every game matters. Every possession. Loser of this game is going home.
Chip Johnson now with 8 points for Mercer. They're back up by 4. Stansberry, strong move. McKee battling for it, out of bounds. Last touch by Chip Johnson of the Bears. Ice Emery had to wait for the result. He was smiling at the end.
He hit the first one for the Catamounts in the first half. That show right there is the Bears just 1 of 14 behind the arc. They either have to start making some or stop shooting some.
Dave just listened in to Tim Kraft in the Western Carolina huddle. Dave?
Very matter-of-factly, he said, guys, we got to get to the loose balls. We have to be the harder playing team. The team that plays harder will earn the opportunity to advance.
Jock Quinones taking it away from Bernard Pelote. Shoulders open on the wing. Rattles in a second-made 3 in 15 attempts in the game for the Bears.
Not surprising, though. He's 38% in league play. That's a good percentage. That's a good shooter taking a good on-balance shot.
Here's Mercer back up by 7 after leading by as many as 8 in the opening half. Highland a spin with the left hand.
Boy, much needed, because a 7-point deficit can feel like double-digit in a game like this where neither team's shooting particularly well.
Looks like the ball inadvertently got away.
They blew the whistle, guys, because Chase McKee came up just a little bit lame, and now he's going to exit.
Big man for the Catamounts team.
On that last play right there. Highland, nice job submitting his foot. Just gets hung up right there. Just a couple of bodies in the paint.
I hope he's okay. Johnson with 8 points. Robinson leads the Bears with 12. Holt has 11. He'll give it back to Johnson. Quinones. And the rebound comes down to Brandon Morgan.
Again, play the percentages. Quinones just 25% on the season. Behind the arc.
Collins. Now Pelote, plenty of time on the shot clock.
Pelote's the guy. He's the X factor for the Catamounts. He's got to try to fear himself to get some opportunities to score.
Scramble for the ball after Highland lost it, and the arrow will keep it in this end. Just 7 on the shot clock for Western Carolina on the inbound.
Pelote's a guy. He's got 5 double-doubles on the season. 4 other games with double-figure scoring and 9 rebounds. But they need him right now to start stepping up and make himself a presence offensively. He's got to start scoring for them to be successful.
Pelote over Quinones. Around the rim it went. Back to a 3-point game.
That's the guy. I mean, that's the guy that can get it going. I know Kell has played really well down the stretch, and he's got a chance. He's on the bench right now. But Pelote's been in some of these big games.
Robinson was looking for Holt, took matters into his own hands, and he'll go to the line. Pelote now with 4 in the game after a 17-point effort Saturday. Third on Highland.
That last possession, Robinson just kind of probing. Just trying to draw the foul, and he does as Highland reaches in at the last minute. Robinson can do that to you. He can put you in some tricky situations, and how do you help? They're trying to force him to the baseline or to the middle where a guy like Collins or McKee can alter or block his shot.
Now 2 for 3 on the night. We noted the 28-point game he had for Ryan Ritter in the win Saturday against Western. His career high came back in 21 against Lackawanna when he had 37. So he's had his 4th school. He's had opportunities against a lot of different opponents.
Well, the question is, having spent some time at a junior college with all the rules and potential changes, listed as a senior, does he have time left? First things first, he wants to continue playing here in Asheville for a couple more days.
The team's back in front by 5. They've led by as many as 8. We're up by 7 just moments ago. Morgan, now Pelote. He can't get the bounce. There's Brown on the rebound.
Second chance opportunity. They haven't had many of those. Nice job by Brown.
Emery out front. Ice Emery delivering. Another 3-pointer, his 2nd of the half.
He's got 3. He's the lone bright spot behind the arc for really either team.
Robinson pulls up, missing that badly. He's 1 for 4 beyond the arc.
And no other Bear touched at that possession.
Collins to Brown. He'll fire. And there's Johnson. Johnson a rebounding guard. That's his 4th. He had a 7-rebound effort in a game not long ago up in Johnson City against ETSU. Crossover by the quick Robinson, and Emery will be called for the foul. He can't believe it. He certainly has something to smile about with his work beyond the arc here in the 2nd half.
Trying to defend, but at the offensive end, he's that bright spot for the Catamounts. His 3rd 3 of the game. Never disappoints, really, in any tournament. And tomorrow, Furman and Samford will go at it. That should be one heck of a game.
Furman will try to beat a team, the reigning champion, mind you, for a 3rd time in the same season. Chattanooga Mocs, the #1 seed. Would love to add number 13. They, of course, beat Furman a few years back on that David Jean-Baptiste bomb at the buzzer. ETSU, which played for the title a season ago, has a number of titles won with 8. Another miss, this time by Johnson.
this year's ETSU team certainly will be right there. Brooke Savage has them positioned. They get John Buggs back. They've got 3 offensive threats, 2 of the best in the league, and Peterson and Seymour.
Pelote fouled on his way to the basket. Interesting thing about Bernard Pelote is, again, last year with Montarius Woolbright and so many other guys with great experience around him, he didn't have to be a factor, but he just looks like his entire mindset and just the way he approaches things much different than earlier in his career with the Academy.
Absolutely. I mean, it took him some time to adjust from the Division II level. He was at Catawba, but you're right. Woolbright, Russell Jones Jr., Trey Jackson, I mean, they were loaded. Justin Gray did one heck of a job putting that team together. Pelote was kind of that extra guy, if you will. He's now the leader, and I'll say it again, with 10:56 to go, if he's not in double figures at the end of this game, I don't see Western Carolina being able to win. He's got to step up, and he started to here in the last couple of possessions.
That was 5 points. He averaged better than 16 points in Southern Conference play. On the season came in at 14.3. Couldn't get the second one to fall. Shoulders on the rebound. The foul, by the way, was the first on the Bears compared to 4 in the second half on Western Carolina. Quick drive. Robinson hung on the rim and fell through.
And they got the switch and the matchup that they wanted. Robinson just backed up and then got a hit of steam and went right by Brown. And without Collins or McKee, there's no real, look at the engine right here. He just gathers steam. He backs up. He recognizes it's going to be one-on-one. The crossover, he just goes, and there's no rim protector. Collins and McKee on the bench right now. Kell spread out, guarding his man. Pretty good offensive move by Robinson.
McKee checking back in. Remember, he left a little bit hobbled. We saw him spin awkwardly in the lane. Robinson back to the line. 16 points on the night. Top 5 in SoCon scoring coming in and pretty much throughout the season. Back out to a 4-point Mercer lead. A little bit of pressure. We saw this in the opening half. A big reason why they ran out to the 8-point advantage. Stansberry. And Pelote really landed hard. And back over to Mercer it goes.
He wanted contact. Good effort right there. Stansberry actually squared his shoulders, and that looked good. But another misfire. Catamounts now 5 of 22.
Terrace and Canones out high. Johnson with Robinson getting tangled with Stansberry, and they'll get Cord Stansberry for his 3rd personal on the push.
Boy, it's amazing how many foul situations on or off the ball Robinson's involved with. He's just got a knack to be able to get his defender there. Watch this again. He's looking to screen Stansberry, and he did. I mean, he was stationary right there. He sold it once he got the contact.
6 fouls on the Catamounts. So just one of the Bears here in the second half. Off the handoff, Robinson lost Kell. Emery picked up the defense, and a foul is called.
Dean, doesn't it feel to you like this game is going to be won by the Stars? We've got 17 points for Robinson, but for Western Carolina, where is Marcus Kell? When this team was playing well, when they were winning games a month or so ago, Marcus Kell was the lead dog, and he just hasn't been a huge piece of Western's offense here in the second half.
No, he hasn't. And Pelote has tried here recently, but those are the two. And look, you get the tournament play, Dave, you're exactly right. The Stars have to shine. Robinson doing what he can. He's not getting a lot of help yet from Chip Johnson. But yes, it will depend. It will boil down to what Stars can shine and who can make free throws. Again, this is not a real good free throw shooting team, Mercer, but thus far tonight they've been solid. 15 and 19 now.
Kell has averaged 19 points a game over the last 11 games on 44% from 3 and 8.5 rebounds a game, and we just haven't seen that sort of production so far today.
No, he's been quiet.
8 points for him, 9 for Emery, and 9 for McKee, who goes back to the bench. Last night, Tim Kraft, the Western coach, did say, though, that he was expecting some of his non-stars, if you will, to step up. He mentioned McKee, also mentioned Emery, and he mentioned Fisher Brown as guys who could be factors besides Pelote or Kell. That's Pelote with his team down by 6, and Holt comes away with it. Quickly ahead, shoulders denied.
Right pass by Quinones, but better defense by the Catamounts.
Emery, count it! Wow!
Boy, that's for the young guys, right? When you hear the whistle and you're anywhere near the basket, throw it up. You don't know what's going to happen. Nice job by Emery right there, trying to give Robinson a little taste of his own medicine, going downhill, force the contact, and then score it.
You were once around a program that had a guy named Harold Miner who once made a basket from behind the backboard going out of bounds. That was nearly that. And Emery a chance to add on.
Harold Miner, baby Jordan, boy, was he a talented player. Thought as a young coach had all the answers when we were winning games at USC. We had him, Robert Pack, and Dwayne Cooper in the backcourt. They all played in the NBA. Good players make good coaches.
Robinson with the ball just picked up his second personal foul. Catamounts back within 3. Emery is stepping up as his coach has desired. He leads the Cats with 12 points. That's him defending the ball. Here's another lob by Robinson to Holt. You know, when you see Robinson from the angle that we see, I'm not sure he's going up to shoot it or to feed it. In that case, give him the assist.
Yep, absolutely. He reads the situation well.
Emery, 15 on the night. It was his three-pointer the first half that provided a jolt for the Catamounts. Maybe the runner we just saw him make while he got fouled did just that here in the second half. Stansberry getting in the way of it. Emery into the front court. Collins for the tie.
And those are the kind of plays that have hurt Mercer all year. I mean, as good as Robinson is, sometimes he'll try to force the play, try to make something out of nothing. And that time, defense turned into offense, and it's tied.
We were even at the break. Enters in the game. Ice Emery has made half of those. It's not been a good shooting night. Mercer with the ball just 12% beyond the arc. Catamounts 26%. Holt. Collins knocked it away momentarily. 8-2 run right now for Western, and both Kell and Robinson hitting the floor hard. Let's go over to Dave Friedman. Dave?
Yeah, I sat in on the Mercer huddle. Ryan Ritter, very confident, said, guys, there's a ton of time left in this game. I love where we're at. That said, he continued his conversation with the officials. He was really upset with that and-one call that Ice Emery scored earlier. He did not think the foul occurred in the act of shooting. He thought it should have been a side out of bounds.
Emery just committed his third personal foul. Robinson has been fouled 7 times in this game. Gets to the line and adds to his total on the night. 20-point game for Ahmad Robinson, who had 28 Saturday and 18 in the first meeting against the Catamounts.
Yeah, you mentioned this is now his 9th free throw, all in the second half. He's been aggressive from the first possession of this second half. Just 1 turnover. If he can limit his turnovers, he can control this game offensively for the Bears.
8 of 9 on free throws. Back to a 2-point lead for the Mercer Bears. Bears team that might have a different record than 13 and 18. Had some things gone differently in December and January. 7 straight 2-possession games, and did not go well for them for the bulk of those. The miss by Morgan. Robinson the rebound.
And now with 8 boards as well. He's one of those guards that doesn't mind going down and just digging them out.
Johnson back to Holt. And 1. Kell on the foul. Well, Alex Holt had early foul trouble, but he has come on since. Double-figure scoring night for him. Here in Asheville, North Carolina, at the Harrah's Cherokee Center, Brady shoulders his first Southern Conference tournament game, and for that matter, Chip Johnson. He's a fine player on the D2 level, the Peach Belt Athletic Conference Player of the Year at USC Aiken a season ago. Holt working on a 15-point night, looking to add on.
You think about this, a couple of years ago, he played with Karan Boyd, the defensive player of the year. He's now at ETSU. That's a mighty good Division II team.
5-point advantage now for the Bears. After
like
Western Carolina tied it up at 52.
It does feel like a big possession right now for the Catamounts.
As you said, being down by 5 makes you feel like you're down by 10, unless Ice Emery gets hot. Another three-pointer for him.
He's had a couple of games this year. Had 20 at Wake Forest. Neither he or Robinson, though, need to turn it into a one-on-one competition. Need to continue to play team ball, let their offense evolve through the team.
Holt with Collins defending. Tried to go over him. Chance to tie or retake the lead on this trip. Collins to Pelote behind the Kell screen. And the Catamounts move back in front. First lead since they were up by a point. Back at the 13-12 mark of the first half.
That's the guy, and it aligns with what Dave was saying. Stars got to shine.
And Robinson, a star for the Bears. Couldn't get it to go, but Holt keeps it alive. Here's Johnson. Wow, what a rough night beyond the arc. Mercer closing in on a 2-for-20 night on three-point tries. Remains a one-point game. Kell looking to get past Fish-Harris. And a foul is called.
One of the first opportunities here in quite some time where Kell has looked to turn the corner. But on the last possession, he's going to fake the dribble handoff, and then Kell sets that screen. There's Emery. He was good. Now Pelote catching for him.
Emery with 18. Pelote has 8. Kell with 8 and McKee with 9. Bernard Pelote, third season in the program. Grew up not far from where Mercer's located. He's from Savannah. About a 2-hour drive or so down I-16 takes you to Macon. Kell unable to knock down the first free throw.
It's Kell's second miss of the third miss, of the game from the line. He came in the last 11 games shooting 90% from the line. It was like everything else. It was really extraordinary.
Makes 1 out of 2. 9 points for Kell. A 7-0 run over the past minute plus for the Catamounts team. Robinson refusing the screen. Rejected from behind. Kell got a hand on it.
And again, Robinson, he's got to watch. He doesn't try to do too much.
Pelote and Kell up top. Pelote defended by Quinones. And Quinones almost took it away. But Pelote, little turnaround. Right over Holt.
That's the guy. That's the X factor. That's the cat that can win things for him.
10-point game just like that. They're up by 4. But Alex Holt brings the Bears back within 2. Wonder this night.
Well, the Bears, yeah. Will they stay in man? Will they go to zone a little bit right now? They've got to be careful with Emery as well as Kell and Pelote in there.
Kell from long range has that line drive shot. Good rebound by Johnson, the guard. A chance for Mercer to retie or retake the lead.
And they've got to give Robinson help right here. Emery can't do it himself one-on-one.
Holt. Halfway down, it comes out. The cruelty of the rim sometimes. Kell just pulled down his 7th rebound.
Well, you've got to try to attack the high post. Whether you flash somebody there or not, that's where you've got to try to get the ball by dribble or pass.
Pelote has a size advantage on Robinson. Emery out front had the hand of Quinones in his face, but the offensive rebound by Highland. So they'll reset. Coming up on 4 to go in our second half. Collins. Now Pelote with 5 on the shot clock. And Robinson, smallest man on the floor, pulls it down. Burst of speed, and the foul is called. Got a 2-point game. Late stages, the first of our opening round battles. Mercer down by 2 to Western Carolina. One of these teams trying to extend its season. At various stages in this game have struggled mightily for the Bears. They're 2 of 19 beyond the arc. A more respectable 8 of 28 now for Western Carolina. Robinson, they all become big at this point. And on the night, Ahmad Robinson now 9 of 10 from the line. His team is 20 of 24. Western Carolina 7 of 12.
He and Holt with 13 apiece. That's 26 of the 31. 27 of the 32 Bears points here in the second half.
Friedman told us we might see a press from Mercer had they made the second free throw, but now they back it off. Highland, by the way, picked up his 4th personal foul. Stays out on the floor. Also 4 fouls on Stansberry. Emery getting the attention of Robinson. Shot clock under 10. Highland, burst of speed, past shoulders, no. Pelote, the offensive rebound. Didn't need to go back up with it. And it comes down to Quinones.
Boy, he worked so hard to get that thing over Holt and then just rush the shot.
It remains a tie game at 61.
You got to figure out, if you're Western Carolina, how are you going to guard those 2 guards, Chip Johnson and Ahmad Robinson?
Johnson just 8 points on the night. He came averaging 16.1. Their 2 leading scorers, Robinson and Johnson, both better than 16 a game. Under 3 to play in regulation.
That's your man right there with the ball, Pelote.
Quinones defending. Pelote leaves it short.
Dean Mercer's best offense today has been getting downhill and getting to the free throw line. They got to attack.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I say Western Carolina's got to figure out how they're going to corral Robinson. And he's got 14 second half points. He's put him in constant conflict.
Robinson recognized Pelote was right there, so Holt will finish. Really nice job not to over-penetrate by Ahmad Robinson.
That's right, and then got the matchup he wanted inside and made the correct pass.
Tim Kraft wants to talk things over. 2:19 to go in regulation. Now it's Mercer in front by a couple at 63-61.
And when Ahmad Robinson has patience, right, he can be quick, but don't hurry. Let things settle. Let that play develop. And he had Highland on Holt. And look, Highland's got 4 fouls, and he's given up about 6 inches. That was the right play. When Ahmad Robinson plays with patience, but continues to get downhill, he's a really hard guard.
Ahmad Robinson talked about the turnover issues at times, but again, he's a great floor general. And that's been quite a combination outside and in for Robinson and Holt tonight.
43 of the 63. Now it's Western Carolina's turn to figure out what are they going to go to offensively.
Western went on a 9-0 run. Mercer following with a 6-0 run. And thus the 2-point lead.
If you're Dan Earl and his staff and you're watching this game, who do you want to play? You want to have to deal with Robinson, and if Chip Johnson's on a really, really talented backcourt, or guys like Pelote, Kell, even Ice Emery, the way he has started this tournament.
Mercer did get a win against Chattanooga on New Year's Day. Deflected over to Highland as Pelote hit the deck. Shot clock at 15.
Bears in a zone right now.
Highland off the fake. Kell on the wing. Shot clock coming up on 5. Emery pulls up. And we're tied again. This time it's 63.
A really nifty move right there by Emery. He could have forced the 3 in the corner, thought better of it. Shot fake, 1 dribble to get to an open area.
Guys, Tim Kraft told C.J. Highland in the break, you can't play worrying about fouling out. We have to get stops.
20-point game for Ice Emery. Robinson defended by Highland. There's Holt, another feed. Pretty much been a 2-man game down the stretch here.
And I'm not sure who else Tim Kraft has to put on Robinson. Highland, their best on-ball defender on the perimeter.
Back in front by 2 goes Mercer with under 1:30 to go in regulation. Kell off the fake. Contact. And he'll go to the line. Quinones picking up the personal.
Nice job by Kell right there. Shot fake to get by Holt, and then Quinones outside the restricted arc, but wasn't set.
Second foul on Quinones. Told you about Stansbury and Highland with the 4 fouls. Emery with 3, Pelot with 3. And Kell, 78% from the line this year. Team Kraft have to do a little bit of roster management here with the foul issues. Kell tries to make it a 1-point game, and he does. And Marcus Kell in double figures, the 3rd catamount to reach. He's now got 10.
Got to make sure that you keep Robinson in front of you.
Highland trying to defend Robinson, who shook him for a moment, but Pelot came over, got a hand on that shot as we've got 1 minute to go.
We saw that the first half by Pelot. Nice job, interior defense.
Chance to retake the lead for Pelot and the Catamounts, and Quinones another foul, and now Pelot back to the line with 49.6 remaining.
And I love it. I love that by Pelot. Take advantage, take over right here. Came up with the defensive stop, and then look, he's just aggressive going against the shorter Quinones.
3rd foul on Quinones out of Orlando, Florida. Pelot goes to the line. Catamounts 8 of 14 on their free throws. He's 1 of 2 tonight. And we're tied at 65.
Pelot now with his 6th double-double on the year. Made or miss, this is not going to change the strategy of either team. If you're Mercer, you're going to put the ball in Robinson's hands, put him in a pick-and-roll situation, let him make decisions.
Back in front goes Western Carolina. 12 points, 10 rebounds for that guy, Bernard Pelot.
C.J. Highland, the freshman, biggest defensive possession of his career at Western.
See the different shot clock to game clock. Highland slipping. Robinson couldn't get it to go. Pelot has the rebound. 1-point lead with the ball. And the foul, Robinson, and he fouls Stansbury, who's better than 90% from the line. But it's a non-shooting situation. And we pointed out earlier the lack of fouls for the Mercer team, and they still have not put Western Carolina in the bonus.
And I think that's why Robinson was so aggressive right there. He just wanted to make sure that he could stop the clock and let his team reset things. Here, good screen by Holt. Maybe moves that hip a little bit, knocks Highland to the ground, but Robinson really not close. There's Pelot with his 11th rebound of the game. He's got 12 and 11.
So now the shot clock
1.2, that's the right thing.
Because the other count we need to take into account is the 10-second. Yeah, so the backcourt is almost serving as a 6th defender, as well as be a trap against the sidelines.
Not always easy to get it in right there. You've got a short baseline.
Emery does get it into Kell, and the foul is called. And that will now mean free throws. 17 foul on the Bears. 4th on Robinson. Marcus Kell back to the line on the night. 3 for 7.
You said entering in the last 5 games, he's 19 of 20. Not so much tonight.
And he couldn't get it to go. Coming up on 25 to play in regulation. Bears with the ball, down by 1. Well, Ryan Ritter let him play. Robinson to the basket. Couldn't get it to fall. Scramble. Taken by Johnson. Still plenty of time. And now a timeout called by Ryan Ritter. Might have had his heart in his hands for a moment there on that mad scramble. So Mercer, the timeout, 11.8 isn't maybe just a little bit more ready for, because they went against this team just a few days ago.
For sure. Now look, shoulders, he's got McKee on him right there without any timeouts left. So Mercer has to inbound the ball.
Western calling a timeout after seeing the set. So Tim Kraft We talked about such a great X's and O's coach, Ryan Ritter. Likewise, in his third D1 stop, Mercer coach at Bethune-Cookman before his 3 years at UT Martin, Tim Kraft. A long, successful run at Gardner-Webb in Boiling Springs, North Carolina. Now he's moved further west in the Tar Heel State. Loves Cullowhee. Says he's got a fishing pond right in his backyard. Greatest thing in the world for him and his kids.
Well, right now he's trying to figure out a way to keep the ball out of Robinson's hands, and if it does get there, how to keep him under control. But again, Alex Holt has played well in the second half, and don't forget Chip Johnson. Even though he is just 4 of 13 here from the floor tonight, he's a capable guy that can go get his own and elevate over the defense.
Shoulders the freshman inbound with the lanky McKee in his face.
Let Robinson catch it and get ahead of steam.
Robinson with under 10 seconds to go. Defended by Emery. Feeding inside. Holt for the bucket. 1 point lead Mercer. And then out of bounds. And it'll stay with the Catamounts. They'll probably take a look. They'll probably check the clock. Alex Holt just put his team in front and has a new career high, 24 points. He'd had 23 against Stetson earlier this year. And how about the night for Alex Holt? It's a 67-66 lead.
I'm not sure that that's adhering to the scouting report. That's a 59% free throw shooter. You got to make him earn it right there. But watch on the inbounds. Boy, does Quinones hit it or does it go off of Pelote? Collins trying to inbound it really quickly. Good reaction by Quinones right there for Mercer.
Maybe our only look we have, the best look we have, and it would be hard to overturn that because the ball kept its momentum based on where it would have gone if Quinones last touched it. I don't know if they'd be able to clearly see if it scraped the hand of Pelote. And keep in mind, now we're showing you the two of us officials here courtside and all the officials watching, but there are different cameras for the review, so they have some other options in the monitor that they're seeing.
Yep, they've got different angles. But yeah, what we saw, you're exactly right, Pete. I don't think that they can change it. It's interesting, though, but coaches really kind of talking about what they've got to do at both ends. I think if you're Tim Kraft, you got to be all in at the offensive side of things.
Here's the basket cam. Quinones stepping in front of Pelote. That would be a hard overturn. But the review continues. Michael Terry, R.B. Clyburn, Anthony Eads, our officiating crew tonight. That's Clyburn on the left and Terry on the right. And there's Mike Eads, who's been observing the officiating this game with his son being among the crew. So
outstanding official back in his day.
Yeah, really good official.
ACC was his main league.
Ahmad Robinson on the night. In the event some way we end up in overtime, we may see a triple-double because he has 8 assists and 9 rebounds to go with his 23 points.
He and Holt have been, they've really been the offense for the Bears in the second half.
Take another look at how Robinson, like a craftsman, fed his teammate perfectly.
He kept his dribble alive and then fed it. Yep. And
well, what a nice play.
McKee tried to go after it, but they let Holt kind of, rather than earn it at the free throw line, shoot it.
And of course, if you back down and try to deny Holt, then you give Robinson a pathway.
Yep.
So that call on the floor stands out of bounds. This way.
So will be an inbound for the Catamounts. Just 3.9 seconds remain. Western does have a timeout remaining in the event they have a hard time getting it in. And the clock has been reset to 4.1 seconds. So they added a few tenths of a second onto that.
Well, every tenth of a second matters at this point.
Keep an eye on number 8, Emery. That's him taking the inbound. Looks like he's going to be the one with the shot. And he fires it. And it's no good. And the Mercer Bears survive in Asheville.